Rabbi Azoi. A husband has a right to annul his wife's vows. So too a father for his daughter's vows. That process is called Hafaras Nadarim. 3 times in this week's Parsha, the Pasuk says, V'Hashem yislach la. Hashem will forgive her. Rashi, citing Chazal, says this refers to a specific type of case. A woman took a neder to become, for example, a nazir, meaning she's not allowed to drink wine. Her husband then annuls the vow. She is unaware of that and then goes ahead and drinks wine. In reality, she is not a nazir. In her mind, she thinks that she is. And on that, the Torah says that she needs slicha, forgiveness. However, this seems strange. What did she really do wrong? She thought she was a nazir, but in reality, she wasn't actually transgressing a prohibition. And the Gemara in Kedushin says that Hashem doesn't punish us for just having the wrong thoughts. So why does she need slicha? My high. That's not my question. That's the question of Rav Natali Tzvi Yehuda Berlin, known by the acronym the Netziv. He was born in the town of Mir in 1816. The story is often told that as a young boy, he really struggled to learn. On one occasion, he heard his parents discussing and taking him out of learning and instead teaching him a trade. When he overheard their conversation, he cried bitter, bitter tears until the gates of Torah wisdom opened for him. His nephew, the Torah Tamima, relates a similar story from later on in the life of the Netziv. We'll come back to that soon. Aged 11, he went to learn in the Volozhin Yeshiva. Aged 13 and a half, he married the daughter of the Rosh Yeshiva, Rabbi Itzler of Volozhin, who himself was the son of the yeshiva's founder, Rabbi Chaim of Volozhin. In 1853, 4 years after the death of his father-in-law, the Netziv took over as the Rosh Yeshiva, and he remained in that position for an incredible 39 years. He had to hold off some challenges to his leadership, notably from the Beis HaLevi and his son, Rabbi Chaim Soloveitchik. But these were disputes, l'shem shamayim, between great men. That's indicated by the fact that Rabbi Chaim actually married the granddaughter of the Netziv. The yeshiva really flourished under his leadership, increasing from 100 to 500 Talmidim. The learning was legendary. Volozhin became known as the mother of all yeshivas. And the learning was around the clock. There was never a time during the day or during the night when there wasn't someone learning. On Yom Kippur, the davening was relatively quick to allow them to have a 3.5-hour learning seder on Yom Kippur. And there was no such thing as Bein Hazmanim. The Netziv himself accommodated for that. Literally, he had hundreds of bochurim around every Leila Seder. The Netziv himself was a renowned masmid. It's said that when he found himself tiring after hours and hours of learning straight, he would simply put his feet in a bucket of cold water, wake himself up and keep on going. That toil in Torah left us with an enormous legacy. His best known works are his work on Chumash, the Hemek Davar, which was based on shiurim which he gave in Volozhin after Shacharis, along with his Hemek She'ela, a commentary on the She'iltas of Rav Achai Goin. He also wrote the Meromah Sadeh on certain Masechtas in Shas, and his tshuvas are called Meishiv Davar, and there are plenty of works beyond that list. Back now to his question, why does this woman need slicha? All she did was have a bad thought. She didn't actually transgress the prohibition. The Netziv, in his parish on the Sifri, Emek HaNetziv, gives a typically straight, clear answer. The Gemara only says there are no consequences for negative thoughts when that's where the story begins and ends. We can say that if the person only thought inappropriately, that's where it remained. He obviously wasn't so sincere if that never translated itself into action. But in the case of this woman, her thoughts were not the beginning and end of the story. On the contrary, she acted upon those thoughts and drank the wine. Even though there was no actual Aveira, because her husband had annulled the vow, we can't just dismiss this as passing thoughts, lacking real sincerity. Those thoughts have been translated into deed, and that's why she needs a slicha. In the Netziv's own life, it was ultimately his actions which ended up dispelling thoughts that other people had about him. The Torah Tamima explains that because so much of his uncle's greatness came through his endless toil and his hasmada, that greatness wasn't so clear for people to see. He suffered in no small degree from the indifference and condescension of other scholars. Even the renowned Rabbi Itzler did not seem to take too kindly to his son-in-law. That will change one day when the Rabbi Itzler chanced upon a manuscript of the Netziv's commentary on the Sifri. He was amazed and astonished. Could this really have been written by his son-in-law, who he thought to be so average? Rabbi Itzler carries on the Torah Tamima, at last fully comprehended that his son-in-law, held in such low esteem by everyone around him, was as knowledgeable in the treasure of Torah as any of the Gedolim. His actions had done the talking. And what a treasure chest and legacy the Netziv gave us. Oka Shabbos. If you have stories of Gedolim you'd like to share with us, please email glimpsesofthegadlus@gmail.com.